Welcome to part 2 of my day at Yellowstone National Park on my 55-day around the U.S. motorcycle trip. Part 1 of my day at Yellowstone, or the last episode, episode 6 of my trip around the state, I started from the North Gate and made my way to Mammoth Hot Springs, which is a huge area with lots of sights. And from there I meandered down southward. And now I'm at Norris Basin, and that's where we'll start looking at things today. One of my favorite pools at Yellowstone is the Emerald Spring. It's a 27-foot deep pool that's almost at boiling temperature, so that only the most heat-tolerant, what's called thermophiles, can survive. There's some sort of microscopic organisms that use sulfur as their energy source, and as you know, these hot springs are loaded with sulfur. Thermophiles can only live in these hot water environments, and almost nothing else can live in these environments. The great richness of life is so wonderful.
It can go up to 300 feet. It last went on August, 25th? Anywhere from 4 days to 50 years apart. Wow. This is the biggest one. It also has damaged cars in the parking lot with the sulfur coming out of the spray. Sometimes they're just mud. Vixen Geyser. Oh, I butchered that name. Oh. Look at the steam coming out of here. The Scenic Geyser. Vixen Geyser.
What's hard to see in the camera is how much steam is coming off and how much sulfur there is in the steam. You can really smell the sulfur everywhere in these areas, and it's fairly corrosive, so you're kind of concerned about getting it on your camera and other gear. So do be careful with your stuff as you're taking pictures. Norris Basin was great. Now it was time to head along the Grand Loop Road and follow the Gibbon River south. One of the amazing things about Yellowstone is you're just out for a ride on the main road and you come across a spring just right beside the road. This is Barrel Spring, and it's really just a little picnic spot for people, but you know, there's just so much to see. Just beyond the intersection with Highway 191 is Firehole Canyon Drive, and this is one of my favorite spots for a motorcycle ride in the park. The views are spectacular. You're riding alongside the Firehole River, but it's right beside the cliffside of the canyon, and there's trees all around, so it's just beautiful. And after all the sulfur, this water is so fresh and pure and smells so good. It's a really nice experience, and of course here I am on a nice sunny day. I'm pulling up now to Firehole Falls, and let's see if we can get a good peek here on the fort on the right. If you have the opportunity, come to Yellowstone in the shoulder season. It would be great to be here in September. If you come here in the summer, everything is so backed up with traffic, it's really hard to move around. So just, you know, if you can, it's something that's really nice to be able to do. Because that's what I did, what I noticed was most of the people here are retired. They're, you know, 55 plus for sure. And I guess I fit that category myself, so it works.
A little bit of stampeding there. Traffic goes through the road. Oh, they're rolling in the dust. Look at them rolling there. They roll in the dust and then they shake it off at the end.
Mountain Flats has lots of natural water, it has lots of grass, and is therefore the perfect place for the bison herds. The funny thing is I almost went by this dead-end road because it just said Mountain Flats. It didn't say what it was. And that didn't sound too entertaining. But I'm so glad I got a chance to see the bison here. It's so up close. There's about 5,000 bison roaming the fields here in Yellowstone in two main herds. And if that doesn't sound like a lot, because obviously at one point there were millions of them roaming the Great Plains, today there's about 11,000 wood bison and 2,000 plains bison in all of Canada. So this is a healthy population.
Don't charge me.
Well, I'm back on the main road again, heading southward. And at times it can be, well, this could be just about anywhere, but then you look ahead to the right, you can see that steam there. Well, there's a geyser over there. And then you look over here to the left, and you can see the vegetation is thinning here. So here's another area where there's the hot spring. So definitely Yellowstone.
We've got the rusty red on this side. And there's more pure white on this side. So blue. Aquamarine blue. Solid spring. Oh, looks like an interesting cave to explore, but of course the hot water will kill you. The fountain paint pots, just spewing up pink mud. Okay. Well, then I have no desire to go. The red spouter, I think we call it.
At times it seemed like there were geysers everywhere I looked. But there was one famous geyser that I still had to see. That was coming up, Old Faithful. Of all the many attractions at Yellowstone, the most popular and most famous is Old Faithful. And it has by far the biggest crowds. It had a huge parking lot, and even though I was here in the off-season, it was full of people. And they had many benches set up to watch the display, and it was packed. There was thousands of people here. It was almost like being at an outdoor concert. And it didn't really fail to impress. It was a little hard to see the water spout itself because of so much steam, but it shot up quite high. A little hard to get the perspective because it's actually quite far away from us from where we're sitting. Everybody's cheering it there. So Old Faithful will shoot up once every 44 minutes to 2 hours. It's not actually a consistent fixed interval. They've got it pretty much timed out, but this time it was about 10 minutes late starting, if I recall correctly.
The Continental Divide, elevation 8,262 feet. Here we are. So which side is this water going into? Alright, one of the features, there's two Continental Divide points in Yellowstone. This is one of the two. So we're now at West Thumb. These are the paint pots at West Thumb.
Well, it's nice to be back on the bike and riding alongside Lake Yellowstone. The views are beautiful here. The lake is over a mile, well over a mile above sea level, so it's a very cold lake. Right now it's about 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So, although it looks inviting, it's not really something you'd want to take a dip in. I'm very close to the fishing bridge campsite, and I think it's just up here on the left. I don't think it's open right now, but it's one of the major campsites for people visiting Yellowstone. So take a peek to the right and even in front of me. You'll see there's a large swath of tree stumps. This is due to the old forest fires. You may have heard of big forest fires that ravaged Yellowstone back in the day. Well, the remnants of it are still here for us to see. Well, I've had a spectacular day at Yellowstone, but wait, there's more coming up ahead. I was surprised at how beautiful and scenic it was heading on the way out towards Eastgate. This has got some really spectacular mountain vistas. And yeah, it was a really great way to spend the early evening on my way out of Yellowstone. further east we went, the more spectacular the views became. I kept thinking to myself, this should have been part of Yellowstone National Park.
At the Rex Hale Campground. We're, I don't know, 40 miles outside of Cody. Look at that cliffside. Because of the cliff, the sun set, I don't know, 6:30. What a place to be camping. Lights all set. Tent's just about ready. And the bear-resistant food storage container. So, all my food's in one of those cases, but I put the whole case in here, just in case. And I've got a picnic table, fire pit, more than I need. And I have water today. It's down by the washroom. So unlike yesterday where there was no water, but I only paid $5. Here's $15 for the night. Just beautiful. Hey, I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next ride.